So YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. When you send out the link live, I'll just start sending it out. Or can I send out the live link now?
Just go to YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel.
Say prep left side. Say prep left side. Say cheese up. Oh, I like y'all. Can y'all dance with me on this part? Let's go.
And I asked him another one, which is Kizo Kane, and he was like, "Yeah, no Kizo. Yeah, I went to school with him too. I went to the same high school." He's like, "Get the fuck out of here." I know everybody for it.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
I like you guys. Do you like them? Listen. So I can look up special thing, okay? Remember, you can more freedom between your seconds and free merch. Say free merch! Free merch! You. Wait, what's your name? I really get a Mariah. She was dancing with me the whole entire time. That's what I like to see. Thank you, baby.
Oh, shit, my knee.
This last one is Fairfax and single. Can I teach you on chorus? Say bass. Head. Left. High. Look to your neighbor and say, body teeth. Look to your other neighbor and say, body teeth.
Jennifer has some Juneteenth shirts that we were going to put on, but I can't find them.
Let's get into it.
You want the way things go.
You ready?
Up to my heart.
Hey.
So I have some questions that I developed. Boy, actually, that's perfect. Put that right here, though. My student, hey, look at Floyd. My student is becoming more organized. Look at him. I'm so proud of him. What's that?
Tubs. That was a great idea. I know how you had everything in tubs. You had like 30-some tubs. I'm doing that. Cool. Keep everything organized. Yes, sir.
I need you two in front of this so I can take a picture.
What you need me to do? Your camera? Oh, okay.
You don't look at what?
Camera?
3, 2, left.
Oh, did she give me that stand?
You talking about tripod?
Yeah. Yeah, she said someone's coming with a tripod.
Amy.
She's on her way back with it right now.
I just told her, that's what I said. The one with the tripod. Yeah, I just said that.
I'm old.
Send her back. She found it. She's doing a print off of the wafers that I
Everybody, hold a pause for me. Hold a pause. Ready? 1, 2, hold a pause.
Oh, I said, what's your most photogenic side? It's like, okay.
Say cheese, so go!
Hey, I need to somehow get this somewhere to go live. And I forgot all the freaking stands.
Ready?
Huh?
I don't think I should have drunk that Red Bull. Right there with your stomach, huh? Man, it's going to my head right now.
Tempe. Don't go nowhere. The show is still going on. But y'all enjoy Chizuko.
You are the best!
Give it up for one more time, Chizuko. We have another artist who's a part of her camp, a part of her family. His name is, actually, we're going to go with Conscious. So, Conscious, are you ready, sir? All right. Give us a second. How y'all feeling? Have y'all, has everybody eaten? Have you checked out the food trucks? Have you checked out the art exhibits? Have you checked out the Zoni girls? Look like y'all ready for this right here. How you doing?
Lloyd, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Our next performer uses music to inspire, uplift, and bring people together. Please welcome Conscious.
What's up? How y'all feeling? I said, how y'all feeling? It's Juneteenth, ain't it? First of all, I want to give glory to God. Pretty much just saying,
Hi.
I'm Mary.
Mary Floyd.
Good, nice to meet you. I work with DTA and the marketing team.
Okay.
I'm kind of helping oversee the porch. Do you guys need anything for setup?
No, we're pretty much got everything done. So.
Perfect. Do you think we could have the speaker on in the next 5 to 10 minutes? Okay.
We're ready.
I'll let him know and then he'll just come up here.
Okay.
We need to get it
Is this one, right?
how y'all feeling Juneteenth? I heard that the blood can save me. There you go.
Excuse me. You're doing the introductions for the speakers, right?
Right.
Yes. Perfect.
This road we travel on these long ways. I will be with the evil spirits from
Before we did the sound check with the mics,
YouTube.
Huh?
I'm going live on YouTube.
Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I got one more track.
Setting everything up. He's been busy. Tim setting up his.
So this next track that I got, it's called Let's Slide. I ain't gonna lie, I got to take this out.
You did a good job. There's Larbell. Larbell's ready too. You ready, Larbell?
That's right. Ready. Let's go. Let's get it.
Go. Come down. Down, Tempe.
What's his last name? Michael.
Oh, for real? Lloyd, might have to turn the volume up because you hear everything right.
Hello? Testing. Testing.
Lloyd.
Can everybody hear us? First, I want to thank the town of Tempe for putting on this amazing event. It's been a yearly event, and we are so excited to have them include Shoes Off Talk as being one of their hosts. And I came all the way from Thailand for this event. It was that important to me. We told City of Tempe that every year they need us, we will be here. So I will be making that trip every year because I feel like this even though we're acknowledging a day, it is so important that we give thanks, that we recognize this more than just one day. And I think you can have as many subject matter experts as you want, but until you actually are able to have those conversations with the people that were actually there, it's something to behold. And today we are blessed and honored to have Mr. Michael Powell on our sit-in. And when I say I have goosebumps, I have a business where I work with athletes and people in the entertainment industry, and I don't get as excited as I am about today. I feel like it's very important that we know and understand our history, because the more we understand our history, we understand how tied in we are, not as just blacks, but whites, Mexicans, everyone. Our history is really and truly our histories. It's not a black history. It is our history. We were the first on all 7 continents. And with that being said, we all come from the same place, regardless of what your skin color is. So that's why it was so important for me to make sure that I came across that water to attend this event. And like I said, I'm honored to be able to sit here with Mr. Powell. And first of all, I want to give him thanks not only for what he's done off the field, but from one military veteran to another. I thank you for your service. So I wanted to start the segment off. We just gonna dive right in because I'm excited. I don't know how to ad lib when it comes to things that I'm excited about.
but we have history sitting in front of us, and I don't know if you guys really understand the magnitude of that. Um, but to be able to have some information that you've been either getting secondhand or, like I said, from subject matter experts, and I feel like it's even more important now because of how our society is and how they're taking Black history out of our education system. We have to find a way to get our kids this information. And there's no better platform than platforms like this where we can actually sit down and have these conversations. Um, I'm actually going to have Mr. Powell introduce himself because I don't want to. I'm excited and I can run on for days, but I'm going to have him introduce himself.
Thank you very much, Tim. Okay. First of all, glory to God in the highest. Thank you for giving all of us the health and strength to be here this afternoon. My name is Michael Powell. That does not mean that you have any reason to listen to what I got to say. But I'm here on behalf of the Okima Community Foundation. Anybody ever heard of Okima? Anybody not heard of Okima? Okima was a historically African American, Native American settlement on the outskirts of, in the border between Tempe and Phoenix. It was named after a Choctaw chief in Oklahoma, Chief Okima. And Okima was a place of redemption. We got technical difficulty. Anyway, it was a place of redemption. It was a place where people from the South could come and find land they could afford, be able to buy houses, find work, and develop their families. So here was redemption for a lot of people. A lot of things that had been lost from slavery, from the Jim Crow era, even the environment, the Dust Bowl. Okima gave refuge to people that needed to have a new start. Now, Okima was a country town or settlement. It wasn't all fancy. It was people who were able to buy land adjacent to the Salt River that nobody else wanted. But it gave those people a footing, some place to start, a home. Most of the houses were built by the people who lived in them. They gave them a place to raise their children. There was one very special house in the neighborhood called Willow Grove Baptist Church. It was the best house in the neighborhood. It was land purchased, built, furnished, all by the members of the church. The African Americans without help from banks, credit unions, outside money. That church and the fundamental strength of people who live in the community made it significantly wonderful. I was a child growing up. Is that better? Sounds better to me anyway. But I was a child growing up amongst these people. I had my own family, and boundaries were set for me by every other adult that I saw. This man sitting here is Nelson G. Mitchell III. His father was a mentor. His father was a Pearl Harbor survivor. And he was a mentor to me. He helped me understand Bible truth. He was my Sunday school teacher. And not only that, he was a role model. I never saw him raggedy. Never saw him raggedy. Even if he was, even if he was going to work in his garden, there was a standard that he had that I always found as something that I wanted to emulate. I wanted to be put together like that. We had a local school called 40th Street School. That's where I attended the first grade. Parents, teachers, etc., did not play with us. They expected you to learn. They expected you to respect the teacher, respect the school, and do your very best to learn. My other friend over here, Mr. Mosley, his mother was a teacher, the first black teacher in the Tempe Union High School, Tempe School District. She served for 29 years in various different schools with distinction, so much so that they renamed Gillian Middle School, which was first named for a Confederate or a Ku Klux Klan member. They renamed the school the Geneva F. Mosley Middle School. Her students rallied and showed their love for her, and they renamed that school for her. Okima was poor. I changed it. I saw a comedian say he wasn't poor, he was broke.
There is a difference. There is a difference.
I didn't know about being poor because I had food to eat. I had clothes on my back. I had people around me who loved me. And I didn't have any doubts that I was as good as anybody else. People didn't have the capacity to earn the type of living that folks are able to earn today. So they were doing things like picking cotton, cleaning other people's houses. Some were able to get jobs in light industry. Some were skilled enough to work in construction. Some of them started their own businesses. But if you came into Okima at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you would see lights were on in most of the houses. People were up and moving and going about their business, trying to earn a living for their children. One of the questions that were given me was, what was it like growing up in segregation?
That was my first question. That was going to be my first question.
The answer is, I don't really know. Because I give you an analogy. If you live in South Tempe and you work in Central Phoenix, that's a 15-minute drive, unless it's a work day. Then because of the traffic, it's a 45-minute drive. That's what segregation was. It was traffic all the time. Once you got out the car and went into the job, you had to worry about people telling stupid jokes, asking you dumb questions, evaluating you on a criteria that nobody else was evaluating on, making it difficult for you to move up. But you know what? You kept pushing. You kept working. You kept striving. You kept coming. You were on time. And you never gave people an excuse to hold something against you. You know why? Because you had a family. You had your personal integrity to uphold. So that's what segregation is, just traffic. Everybody got some kind of traffic to deal with. It was just like traffic.
So my question, staying on topic with the segregation, At what age did you realize that there was something different, that there was a divide in the world, or did you ever realize that there was a division in the world?
When I turned on the TV one day and I saw kids my age being water hosed and dog sicked on in Alabama, I realized somebody was wrong. Something was wrong. I said, why are they doing these kids like that? They're no older than I am. Why are they doing them like that? That's when I that's when I realized something was wrong. Something was different. And nobody could explain to me to this day. Can't nobody explain to me why.
Seeing stuff like that happen, and the curiosity as a kid to ask those questions of why, did it spark anything in you to want to be involved, to affect some kind of change?
Well, I had good parents and good teachers and good people around me. And I was told, that's not right. And I know it makes you mad. You want to ball your fist up and swing it. But don't do that. Because if you do, you bring yourself down to their level. Keep your head up. Keep your mind open. Keep your options open. Understand what you want to do and what you want to do. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't make it.
So, for you having gone through what you've gone through, what is the significance of Juneteenth? What does Juneteenth mean to you?
Long before this was celebrated as a holiday, it was a family day. One of my uncles, Reverend J.L. Wheeler, who was pastor of Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Mason, was from Louisiana. And he grew up around people who were either second generation or first generation knew about Juneteenth. And he would sit us down, children like this, he would sit us down and tell us how freedom came to the slaves, the enslaved people. But for 2 years, the ones in Texas didn't know it. And he would say, this is just another thing that people did to us that was just wrong. He said, so when the people in Texas found out they were free, they celebrated. So I'm going to be a little bit stereotypical here, but we had strawberry pop and fried chicken and potato salad on Juneteenth. Before it was anybody else's holiday, it was our family day. My grandmother was raised by her grandmother who had been enslaved. It was that close to me. My uncle was closer to it than I was. So that's what Juneteenth means to me.
I'm going to ask a question that some people want to keep blinders on. They don't want to really go down that path. But for someone that has lived through generations, you've lived through the cycles, you've been through it all. Do you think slavery and segregation still exist?
Well, segregation exists. Segregation pretty much is a natural thing. You like who you like, you don't like who you don't like. You're not inviting me to your party because you don't know me. So segregation is going to exist. What else did you ask?
Slavery. And mind you, when I say slavery, I'm not talking about the chains and all of that. Slavery for me looks different these days. It's through the media. It's through other things. But for someone that has experienced multiple generations and been through what you've been through, do you see it that way?
Well, slavery Can be a lot of things. If you got Instagram, you probably scroll a lot longer than you want to. Then you put it down and you go, oh, I spent an hour doing this. You can become enslaved to your own devices. But the systematic segregation and subjugation of a people will exist if you let it.
So you're basically saying segregation and slavery is a state of mind.
That was funny. Y'all ain't laughing, but that was funny. I know I've been. I see somebody get slapped with a tree.
That was kind of weird timing. As far as the state of Arizona and the country as well, how far do you think we've come?
Well, just looking at the skyline here in Tempe, I went to Arizona State University, and I used to live in Tempe, in the Don Saguaro dorm, just looking around. But the biggest thing is Corey, the mayor. Y'all got a black mayor. When we were coming up, if you weren't in a certain religious group, you were getting nothing politically. I won't name names, I won't offend anybody, but this comes full circle and have Corey in office is a bigger deal than you think. Support him and every other candidate of color, women, support them, get some diversity in government. Otherwise, you get narrow-mindedness and bigotry in government.
And just to piggyback off of that, it's so important to support and go out and vote for your local leaders. We think that the presidency is the biggest thing we can do. The biggest thing that we can do is make sure that we have the right leadership in at a local, at a city, and at a state level. Those are the ones that directly affect you. And I think we put too much in the presidency, which is not, that's so far from us and really doesn't directly affect us. So like he said, it's important for you to get out when you have people in position of authority that look like you, that support your ideas, that open up their communication with you to get your ideas. It's so important for you to give your input, because that is the level, as a mayor, that is the level that you want to make sure you have the right people in position in.
Two things I would ask of you if you have children. Number one, teach them to actually read. Actually pick up a book, figure out what's in the book, tell you what's in the book, write a little report on what's in the book. Teach them to actually read. I know you say they go to school, they can read. It's sight reading, they can't read. Teach them how to sound out words, how to break down syllables. Make sure that your children are literate. The next thing is, know who's on your school board. Know who's making the decisions that affect your children on a daily basis. Go to the meetings, figure out which ones are good, which ones are not so good, and do something about it.
Community involvement is the one thing from hearing his story, from researching him, and it all comes back to the village situation. We no longer have those villages where if you came to somebody's neighborhood, everybody in the village knew you were in the neighborhood. If as a child you got out of line, it wasn't just your parents, it was people in your village that corrected you, people that put you on the right path. And so I think it's so important for us to recreate these Okanema communities because they were so impactful to help them get through situations that we think what we went through and what we're going through now was something that it doesn't even compare to what they went through. So if these villages can help them press through and get through their situations, we got to get back to these villages. And it's crazy because I live in Thailand, and the communities that they've created over there is unbelievable. And there's no reason that we can't have that here. But we're so caught up in our own life and our own world that we don't concern ourselves with anything outside of our bubble. And if we're talking about progression, that's the only way we're going to progress. And just to let you know, you took my last question. I was going to ask generationally, based on your knowledge and what you've been through. I said for the younger generations, what can we do to keep the progress moving in the right direction? And it's so poignant that he said to read, because they used to have a running joke with black people that if you want to keep something from them, put it in a book.
Hide it in the book.
Because it's even worse nowadays because it's so easy to pick these up. It's so easy to watch TV. Everything is digitized. But like you said, until you really can see them words and be able to understand the meaning and the emotions behind those words, it's important that we do have those moments where we sit down with our kids, that we assign them information to understand their heritage and where they come from. Because like I started this sit down off, we're not divided. When you really look at it, black people were the first on all 7 continents. So knowing that there's no such thing as black people, white people, Mexican, we are all one people. We just are different shades of skin. Until we start realizing that, we're going to continue to have these divisions in our community. And so I want to end this sit down. Did you have anything else to say, Mr. Brown?
Talking about young people, don't miss the opportunity to engage with your elders.
Oh, so important. So important.
I learned so much from this young man's dad and so much from this young man's mom. To this day, I have people older than me, or around the same age, that have been through something that I haven't been through. Help me with that. At ASU, we used to help each other and say, okay, this professor will not give a black person more than a C. I don't care how good you do. Don't take him. But if I didn't ask that question, if I didn't find out who to avoid, I walk right into a trap. You go through stuff you don't really have to go through. And they're going to give you old advice. Yeah, you heard it before. But guess what? I tell young people, I'm 74 years old. I tell people this all the time. And I'm going to say this in an old country way. I'm 74. You might get here where I'm is, and you might not.
That's a mic drop. That's how we're gonna end this segment of sit in. I just want to thank Mr. Powell again for the info for us. We have to understand when you're able to sit down and have conversations with somebody, it's not the material things. We've been grown up and we've been prod and poked and been fed all of this information to think that the American dream is money, cars, houses, and the abundance of it. This is the American dream, being able to sit down with somebody and get information from them. That is a true American dream. Your value is not determined by what you have. It's about how many people you can affect in your lifetime. And if you're not affecting people around you, then I don't care how much money, cars, and houses you have. You are poor.
Come on now.
So I need all of us to make an effort to be life rich. And once again, I want to thank Mr. Powell for giving us his time. I still got goosebumps. And I just want to thank you, man. I'm a sponge, and I hope you guys have learned and take something from this sit down. We have other guests coming on. I would advise that if you can stay, because the information that they're going to give is priceless. And so, once again, I want to thank the city of Tempe for giving us this platform. Shoes Off Talk for setting up and being a host. And once again, Mr. Powell, it's been a pleasure.
Just thank you guys for attending and stay tuned. We have other guests that's coming on. Thank you. Right now, right? Money. Okay. You said something else. I was like, okay, I didn't want to yell at you. Okay. Hey, good. Nah, you did a good job. Oh, I said okay, mom. Okay, mom. Nah, but I don't, because I'm Choctaw Indian, and I'm so used to that dialect. So I appreciate it. I'm from here, and only in the last 5 years have you actually heard people start to talk about that neighborhood. So to see you do this on this level, on this display, and have the brother come and talk about the neighborhood, that's powerful. That's what the people. I'm a native. I'm a dying breed here. So that's what the natives need to know. I brought my son. He got the chance to hear about it. It was an opportunity for me to tell him about it. So thank you.
Oh man, we're gonna do this every year. I told the city of Tempe, make sure we here because we need this. We need this more than anything, man. Especially this day and age.
More than once a year. More than once a year.
Yeah. Yes. That was the other thing I talked to him about. Tim. I've been out here since '93. Yeah. So. This is home for me.
This one I actually just bought for the brother.
Did you?
Yeah, created by DVO.
I need to go get that.
Black business.
Oh yeah.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you, man.
Boy, unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah, we're just a tad bit behind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, city of Tempe, we are here. We are outside. We are outside. Thanks for being with us on this Juneteenth event. Juneteenth.
Hallelujah.
And
hallelujah.
Hallelujah, sir. Hallelujah. Once again, thanks to Shoes Off Talk, city of Tempe. Appreciate you guys for having us up here. Definitely plan on doing this more and more years. Like Tim said, this conversation needs to be had. 1865 is when Juneteenth happened. Galveston, Texas. We were definitely let know. We were not let know that we were free. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they found out that we was free.
2 years and 2 weeks.
2 years.
2 years and 3 weeks later.
So it was a long time, and they were working us and working us and working us. But we outside, we're here now. Like I said, this is beautiful. But I definitely love to introduce my guests here. We have 8-time Grammy Award winner Malik Yusuf.
44-time Grammy Award loser Malik Yusuf. Come on, let's tell the truth.
You gotta lose to win. What is it? Failure. Failure leads to success.
Hey, I tell people all the time, practice is playing failure.
So, just introduce yourself here, and thanks for being with us.
And it's not Malik Yusuf. I'm just Glad to be here in Tempe again. I came here with the first inaugural Martin Luther King Day, Martin's Day celebration when John McCain was the governor. I helped petition for that to happen in Arizona with the Lakota tribe that lives here in the White Mountain Apache tribe. So I'm just blessed to always be in the space.
Yes, sir.
Cause ain't nobody free till everybody free. That's for sure.
And while we're talking about that, we want to talk about the history of music. We want to talk about the history of music. Now, I know back, with the when we were found out that we were free, one of the things I looked into was fashion.
Yes.
Music.
Yes.
Before we were free, we had rags, basically.
Yep.
They put us in cotton.
Yep.
The lesser forms of clothing, that's what they gave us.
Yep.
It was against the law for black people to wear nicer, finer clothes.
Yep. Gets allowed to have a dog, gets allowed to ride a horse, couldn't have a pet.
Couldn't do anything.
Nothing.
And one of the first things that happened was fashion.
We got fresh.
We
really got fresh.
If you look at all of like the parades, right when that happened, you start seeing the change. Black folks start coming out dressed to impress.
That's right.
And also with that, music.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, with music having to change after that, what is like a vessel of historical significance to you as far as music in our history?
Well, you understand, America, the first form of American music was jazz.
Yes.
That was the first form of purely American music. The second is hip hop. Hip hop is purely American music because it's the intersection of the indentured servants that made that black bluegrass over from the British, the Irish and the Scotch Irish, the Native Americans with some of the elongated melodies, the Africans with our high level oratory skills as it is juxtaposed to our melodies as well. So these things made soul music. We picked a bunch of pieces, just like soul food, a bunch of scraps, a bunch of little pieces that would be insignificant, separated, but together. So that's what makes me Grammy Award winning producer. I take scraps and pieces of songs, which we call samples, and I put those together and I give them to Beyonce or Rihanna or Jay-Z or Drake or Kanye or, Twister, whoever I work with, Lil Baby, whatever. And that's what I understand to be soul music. It doesn't matter the genre. If you're taking pieces of anything, black folk took the entrails of a swine beast and made a delicacy.
Speak on it. That's what we're talking about, soul food. We literally took the craps.
The crap.
Stuff that was thrown away, clothes.
Collard greens, people didn't want.
Turned it into delicacy.
Come on, man. Come on. So yeah, music is microcosmic to how we had to think in survival mode from a continuous basis to teach our children survival. And those songs we sang to uplift the spirit, you gotta understand what humming does. Humming activates growth hormones, also activates serotonin.
Okay.
Activates dopamine. Humming is so essential to humans that it's medicinal. Just telling you the truth, G.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next question I have for you here.
Yes, sir.
Also, you're a storyteller poet.
I'm a poet. Got Poetry Jam, Carl Thomas album, Kanye, Common, Snow Allegra, Beyonce,
Yeah.
John Legend's albums. I do poetry on those albums.
You've done a lot. Blessed. And what is the importance to you of timing and truth in poetry and storytelling?
I think it is our not just our job, because I want to make it as an occupation, but it's our responsibility to bring forth the unseen, the invisible. And sometimes it has to be put into words for the human brain to literally synthesize it into information. Other than that, it's just a bunch of noise and pieces in the brain's like, I don't need that, I see that, here, I don't need that. But once it's concentrated and delivered in a certain way, is when you're able to be uplifted.
Nice. Also, as far as what you're into and what you have going on, is there anything that the people get into, or is there anything you're working with as far as outreach with the people?
Oh yes, I do several things. I do a
Writing camp.
I do a writing camp called Bad Kids. Writing and production camp. We have like I think 2 Grammys, 4 or 5 nominations, plaques, ASCAP awards, and I just take amateur writers, amateur producers that want to cross over to this industry. By me being signed to Universal, I use that building to my advantage to bring people in from the street into that building that have had a dream to do music or a desire or even a gift to do music. And I bring them into Bad Kids Camp and we make meaningful art. That art that touches people that transatlantically. So that's what I do.
How can they get in tune with that?
It's badkidsworldwide.com.
Okay.
Badkidsworldwide.com.
Definitely make sure y'all check that out. But also, lastly, we got to get you out here because you got to get to the main stage.
I got to perform.
Got to get to the main stage here. But
this is the main stage, though. I just got to go perform over there.
Yes, sir. But any thoughts on how we can progress forward as a people, especially when it relates to African American community?
Well, yeah. So my idea, and I've always had this idea, was how I was able to bring Travis Scott into the industry, and Kanye worked with Carl Thomas and worked with Tupac when I was a shorty. I am a big proponent of get with who agrees with you first. If you say, hey, check this out, I like red, black, green. Do you like red, black, and green? That's a starting point. You may diverge at some point, but start there.
Yeah.
We keep kind of convince people to be on our side. If you are a black person and you believe in white supremacy, I'm not the person you need to be talking to, nor are you the person I need to be talking to. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm going to spend my energy with the people that are like-minded. Not in the echo chamber, not that way, because that shortens your attention span, it breaks down your brain. I'm talking people that we say, hey, check it out, we all agree that we could do a better job keeping this lawn clean. Wow. Hey, somebody needs to wash the dishes every day. That's an agreement. Now, I don't have expectations of people. Just because you look like me, I expect you to be my... No. Because expectations are premeditated resentments. I don't need to resent you or hate you in any way. So I'm going to come in, we're going to decolonize the mind. We're going to fight against racism and anti-blackness. We're going to fight against misogyny by standing up and being ourselves. We fight against it by separating from it. When somebody says something wrong about a woman, say a foul name, call a woman a bad name, even if it's just in a group of 3-4 dudes, hey, bro, that's not what we say. And if they say, oh, man, you're being soft, then you're not my friend. Plus, I can fight real good.
No, yeah, check our stuff. We have to check our stuff
first. Real good, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might beat me, but you're not going to survive it, though. So that's how I feel about it. And you don't have to be a tough guy, just be like, separating from you. And that's not what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat you up or, in that way unless you attack me. So those are the things, anti-LGBTQI people, like, oh, you can't get, if you like a man and you want to get married to a man, go ahead. How does that affect me, G? That does not affect me. We've been taught that affects you. It does not affect you. It does not. You might not like it.
Yeah.
You don't have to, because you don't have to do it. If you don't like gay marriage, then don't get gay married. You okay? And those are the small changes in the brain that move you forward. As opposed to saying, I got a lot to work on in myself. Like, how can I change myself to a better person? That allows the brain to be curious, and then you bring people in because that energy attracts like minds.
And that's all it was about, moving forward, change, and that's what we're here for today with this Juneteenth event.
And my grandma said, you got to do 2 things in life: stay black and die.
That's it. Y'all know that saying. Y'all know that saying.
Got to do those 2
So
things.
before we let you go, anything you can talk about as far as work that you're doing with any artists or any future projects that you're working on?
Well,
that you can talk about.
I've been talking to your boy Ryan Coogler about his soundtrack, so that's one of my.
Okay, that's big.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get that since Black Panther. Now it's starting to speed up a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming out, brother.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Hey, and once
Shout
again,
out. You already know.
Shout-town, we already know, Shout-town down. But we right now we at Tempe. We
Yes.
love it. Thank you so much.
Happy
Thank you guys for
Juneteenth,
coming.
y'all.
Happy Juneteenth. Thank you guys for coming out. We got more artists and people to speak with coming up, so give us a few minutes and we'll get you going. Thank you for coming out.
Hey.
So I know you all are telling stories, so I was like, whoever's in charge, I would love to get the information for next year.
Floyd, can you wear XL?
Yes.
These are shirts. Can you put it on now? Larvell. You can run back there if you want to put it on real quick. Larvell. I need you to put this on. Thinner, you or Floyd? Come on now, Floyd. I don't know.
But a 2X does work. Huh? 2X works. You're not going to lose weight.
Go ahead and put that on.
Sorry. Those are the shirts.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
You'll have a
I'll buy these from them because these are the ones that I gave them. I just got them from them, so I'll buy these. So I want to take some back with me.
This is a 2X.
I don't know, but this is a different set, so it might be different. This Kate made these out of
I'm like an XL now with my
slim
weight
silk.
loss.
Sorry.
Like the weight.
Check, check.
Is it on?
Close.
Oh,
Ah. It's working. Check, check. Check, check. Talk. Okay.
Lord, thumbs up when you're ready. Thumbs up when you're ready.
Okay. Our next guest is Paige Alexandria, co-founder of Zoni Girls, a Phoenix-based brand and community that has grown into much more than fashion. Through creativity, culture, and connection, Paige and her team have created space where people can express themselves, build confidence, and feel a sense of belonging today. Today, we're excited to learn more about her journey, the story behind Zoni Girls, and her vision for the future. Please join me in welcoming Paige Alexandria. Paige, thank you so much for being here. Let's start at the beginning. For those who may not be familiar with Zoni Girls, tell us about what it is and what inspired you to create it.
Yeah, so I started Zoni Girls with my two other sisters. I was in my very early 20s and they were still in high school. We really loved fashion and style and skating, of course, but skating was such a dude sport, so we really wanted to bring that femininity into it, but also allow girls to be grungy and also have like a cool earthy style as well. So we started off as that, and when we got into the skate community, we really realized that Arizona needed more of a skate community, and we started these roller skating pop-ups, which very quickly turned into us having a roller rink, and now we actually tour all over the country with our pop-up roller rink.
So you started as a clothing company and then turned into, you had a rolling company. I just want to say, I love your shoes. Check out her shoes right now. They got a little roller skate on them for the heel. So cute. I would totally rock those. I love those.
Thank you.
So, Zoni Girls has become a reflection of pride, style, and identity in Arizona culture. How do you intentionally use fashion and branding as tools for storytelling and empowerment?
Yeah, so our mission at Zoni Girls is helping people feel confident in their skin, style, and skates. And for us, that really means embodying what you're wearing, trying something new and completely different, and just anything that makes you feel more empowered to be yourself. So I guess one of our biggest ways that we do that is our staff is always head to toe in pink, and they all look very united but very different and individual at the same time. And I feel like when people see our giant hot pink beacon of a roller rink, they just come up and they really want to be a part of it. And then they really quickly see our amazing staff dressed head to toe in style, encouraging them, bringing them into the community. And that is really what has like boosted us. Like there's no clicks. There's none of that. Like we just want people to come in and feel welcome and feel accepted, literally in their skin, their style, and their skates.
And I love the fact that you are a female-owned business. Sorry. You're a female-owned business. Not only female, but black female-owned business. Did you find, was that hard? Did you find pushback when you were starting your company?
We did for sure. We especially found it when we started getting more into corporate spaces. We've done some really huge pop-ups like the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. We've done events for Google. And when we were inside of those boardrooms and dealing with those kinds of people, it was very hard to be taken seriously. One as a woman, one as someone in their 20s, and then also just a black woman in general. I just feel like it was very hard to kind of break through. So me and my sisters just always had to shake it off and just continue to move forward and not let those roadblocks stop us. And our mom she's just so amazing, and she's always just like, shake it off. Literally no one else needs to know except you. Like your vision of yourself and how you feel in your body is all that matters, and stepping into a room like that completely changes, I feel like, how people treat you.
Push through the fear.
Exactly.
Juneteenth reminds us that visibility matters. Growing up, did you feel represented in a creative spaces around you, or how has that influenced the platform you're building now?
Yeah, I don't feel like I felt very represented in spaces growing up. I was a dancer from a very young age, all the way into my early 20s being a professional dancer as well. And being inside of those spaces with a lot of women that didn't necessarily look like me, you know, my butt was a little bigger, my hair was definitely kinkier and curlier, and I always had to try and fit it into a bun like everyone else and wear that bright red color lipstick that didn't look good on my skin. So yes, I never felt represented. I think that is one of the really big things that me and my sisters took into creating Zoni Girls, is we wanted ourselves to feel that way. We do Zoni Girls full time now, but we also want our staff to feel that way as well. We have every race, color, shape, size on our staff, and we just allow them to come up and show and represent themselves how they want to be represented. You know, wear your hair out, wear your braids, you know, embrace your body shape and style. Like that is something that Zoni Girls is very, very passionate about, and not just for women but for men as well. You know, we have some very different men on our team as well, and we just want everyone to feel just really confident and accepted, because nothing is worse than being in a space where you just don't feel accepted, you know, but it has to start within yourself.
I agree 100%. I haven't even been looking at the time there. I love the fact that you are empowering women to be themselves. Black women, embrace your hair, embrace everything about yourself, because you are gorgeous, girl. I mean, gorgeous. And so you are a great representative in showing women, the younger women generations that are younger than you. You are showing them how to be powerful, beautiful Black woman, embracing yourself. So thank you for that. Thank you. You're gorgeous. What does freedom look like for the next generation of creative women in Arizona?
I think sometimes we wait for change to happen to us instead of realizing that we are the change that we need to create for others. Really just living your best life and truly embracing your light is what inspires others to do the same. That's one of my favorite quotes. And I feel like if you step into a space and you're confident and you're boisterous and you are wearing your hair and rocking your style, you have freed yourself. And now you are allowing others to free themselves as well. So I think that that's the biggest thing that women can do is not be afraid, not be jealous, not be envious, not be nervous to speak, to learn, to share knowledge. And to just be yourself. And once you do that, like that's the freedom that I feel like you need. You just need to feel free, like in your own life. And once you do that, your village becomes free, your community becomes free, and everything around you becomes free.
So embrace yourself.
Embrace yourself.
What's one thing you wish more people understood about the work you do?
Oh man, I wish they understood that as fun and sparkly as it is, it's not easy. And I think that this is the same way with so many different industries where people come up and they're carrying what they have in their world and they're not meeting you in your world. So I think that's the biggest thing is just knowing that like this pop-up roller rink over here, it's small, but it took a village and it was hot today and it was hard to create this experience. But we wouldn't change it for the world. And I feel like people knowing that they're coming into a space that like our family like really built from the ground up, from nothing, $0 in the bank account. We're the ones still doing that load in, load out. Like we put so much love and energy into it. And I think people feel it. I think people feel it for sure.
I agree. I am so grateful for you being here today. You are such a beautiful, young inspiration to all of us. So thank you. Thank you. Everyone. Paige Alexandria.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I know they're so fun.
So bring the
Shorter on the time, but I figure Tim goes so long.
I know, okay.
Maybe famous. I could have kept it up at the same time, but like I know we have so many other people, so maybe that's a good thing I got through all my questions. So.
No, that's fine.
Is it all right? I was like, should I continue? I said, thank you, and then I looked at the time. But at the time, I was pretty impressed with myself. Actually, I thought I was right around on time.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the creator of Battleground Music, Mr. John.
Thank you.
Let's go, PJ.
I gave it to Tim.
Right here. Right here. Microphones. Grab one.
Hold on 1 second. I want to do the lights first, and I don't want to make.
Okay.
So I guess there's a bad here somewhere. Did you bring it? Yeah. It's better than something else. It's the symbolism behind it.
Here, I'll take this one back to the bar.
Boy, can somebody grab that bag so I can move this back? You can sit it back on it because if not, it's gonna fall.
No, I mean, it makes sense for them to be loud. They're there to get people to get excited. Yeah.
Do you want both? Tim, do you want both flights? Here. Maybe take that one over there.
Over, yeah.
I don't want. Bill, you can go up there and sit in her seat and see if that's directly in her eyes. That I was just pointing out.
No, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh no!
No, you're fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now I'm gonna have you go ahead. You ready for her to come up?
Yeah, ready.
All right, love y'all, man. Give it up. For DJ Rasta.
Is it okay? Yeah. You quiet about it. We need to see how much these are.
M-O-R-E-L-A-N-D. I love y'all so much. Appreciate you. Love y'all. Y'all keep your hands up.
How are you? Good. Are y'all related?
I'm not related to anybody.
Oh!
I don't claim anybody. No, who are you talking about, the young lady?
Yeah.
No. Question. Is the next one Councilmember Hodge?
When is Councilmember Hodge coming up? Look at the schedule. When is Councilmember Hodge coming up?
After AJ. So 15 minutes.
Shoes off top. Last 3 years.
All right. We're back. We had to just do a little bit of lighting test here. It was starting to get dark. Now we back. But appreciate you guys that are still with us. Thank you so much for being out here at the Juneteenth block party. They've been doing this for a few years here. I want to say they said about 5 years they've been having this block party. This will be now the first year that we will be here. Shoes off top. And then moving forward, we plan on being here with the city of Tempe to do this event for Juneteenth. Moving forward. So with that being said, definitely check us out. Check out our podcast right here. We have our scan the code. You can definitely check us out. We're streaming on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of the above. Definitely check us out. Thanks so much. But we are now here with this
AJ O'Neill.
AJ O'Neill. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And let's just get into it. We're here on the porch. We're having conversations. We're in the rocking chair. This is Juneteenth. How do you feel about this event?
I feel good about this event. I guess more importantly is, how do you feel about this event?
Yes. So let's just get into it. So tonight my thing has been music. I've been talking to people in music, and we're going to continue that trend with music. So let's just jump into it. How do you feel about like what's the vulnerability of doing and being in music? Some people say it's about a rawness and realness, and especially far as our history is concerned, with us pretty much starting every music genre is. How do you feel about that?
About rawness and realness. Um, I think for me, music is expression. It's the ability to connect with someone else when you have something you need to share and feel the need for connection. So I know for me, songwriting specifically has always been a means of processing and then learning about other people.
Yeah. Now, as far as processing and learning about other people, music opens is like that language that everybody can get into. It's like that universal language that brings everybody together, especially now more than ever. In the times that we're in, when it comes to that, bringing people together, how do we find joy through that adversity?
In general or in music?
In music. And in general.
Yeah. I think one is sharing the songs and sharing the stories about them and learning about the other people who have experienced the same thing or something similar and being able to speak with them about it. But another one is creating events where people can come into a space and leave feeling better. I do an event that I call the Everything Is Not Okay show.
Okay.
And for that event, every artist writes and records a song about a cause they care about and then champions a local nonprofit that addresses that cause. The idea was, yes, everything is not okay, but what can we do about it? And also, you're not alone in wanting better. So it was able to connect people with direct action. It was a fundraiser, so they got to decide which nonprofit their ticket money went to, and then they were able to meet and listen to all these different nonprofits and figure out where they might want to participate in a cause they care about in the community. While also having these grievances of this is something I really care about that hurts me or scares me or frustrates me and impacts me, and here's what I can do about it, instead of feeling paralyzed by that idea that everything is too big and too bad and too scary.
When are these events of yours, and where can they find it at?
Yeah, the next one is June 28th at Rebel Lounge.
Okay. Hey, someone knows about it. All right, make sure y'all check that out. And another question here. As far as storytelling, what is the purpose of storytelling through art?
I think that sometimes art can say something that my words can't. I'm working on a project right now that I'm calling The Birdwatcher's Guide to Grief and Loss.
Okay.
My mom passed away last year in June, so her 1 year just passed, and she was a bird watcher. And so I started this project that I play on the banjo, which has been healing in and of itself.
Oh,
since,
banjo, that's different.
It is a distinctly Black American instrument, which makes it more joyful for me.
Yes.
And I've been pairing her favorite birds with my stages of grief and using that to process. And it has felt so different than just speaking about the grief or just sharing. My banjo's right there. That's what's happening.
That's it right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we get a little something?
You can, but you might have to hold the microphone.
Yeah, I got you. Check out this banjo.
A nice one at that.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for playing that. Yeah, what is that? What is the history of the banjo?
Well, we've got a few different things we can talk about with the banjo. One is the shape of the banjo, which is shaped like this because the, ancestor instrument, which still exists in West Africa, was built with a gourd at the bottom, and then an animal skin on the top, like a drum, and the strings were made out of like different parts of an animal, like intestines and things like that. Which is pretty common for instruments. But one of the things that is particularly interesting about the banjo is the drone, which is a string up here, because it starts over here, so it tends to stay, it tends to be consistent in its sound, unless you put your fingers up high, which I do sometimes. A standard banjo tuning is a G, so it's just a open chord. So if you feel like learning a banjo, I think you should, because this is a chord on its own. But there's also other ways to tune it. I've been playing with some minors, some modals. There's a double C tuning that is particularly angelic to me. So.
Nice, man. Thanks for that little history. Any other history on this? Because I did not know that it was actually,
It traveled with us.
Yes.
It traveled with us, and then it became something specifically here, specifically Black American.
See, and this is why we have stuff like this, so we can learn, about things, especially when it comes to African American history. So thank you. No, appreciate you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else going on that you have besides that one event?
Not super related to that, but sometimes, so I am immunocompromised, and when I get sick, I get really sick. And when I lose my voice, which is my main way of connecting and processing and being with other people, I have to figure out another way to do that, and so I started crocheting clothing.
Okay.
And I think learning more about fiber arts and the history of fiber arts in our community has also been really wonderful.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother thing.
It's a whole other, but it is another form of storytelling. So if that's something you're interested in, I think you should also pursue it.
Yes. And as far as going back to storytelling, how important is storytelling, especially with our history? How important is that to continue storytelling, especially with events like this?
I think storytelling is one of the most potent ways to pass on history and to keep things alive. So whether that's through music or through visual art or through craft or through telling someone the last date you went on that went terribly, I think that storytelling allows us to humanize each other and to be together.
Yeah, because the reason why I asked that question, because you already know our history was almost lost. A lot of it was not told to us, or it was kept from us. And just like back to the Juneteenth, we didn't know. We had no clue. We was free for, 2 years or so. So that's why I asked that question about storytelling. That's something that needs to happen. Something we're going to continue. Hopefully we can continue this conversation more. But once again, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we'll definitely, matter of fact, before we go, that last event you were talking about, just let them know again. So they know.
Yeah, the Everything Is Not Okay show will have 8 performers and 8 local nonprofits for you to meet. It's on June 28th, which is the last Sunday, at Rebel Lounge, and tickets are available online if you go to Rebel Lounge.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And give us a few minutes. We have more people we'll be speaking with. And thank you guys once again for being here.
Thank you.
Alright. Panel number 1 on deck.
Who's next? Is that you?
Hold on, I gotta get my hug.
Oh my goodness! Look who it is! Yes. Hey, Chrissy. Chrissy, Larry, Heller, Chrissy.
I'm just helping capture it. So,
Yeah, see, getting out of New York.
We've got some chairs. I've got some chairs over here. I can grab a couple.
Let me help also. I'll help you. Just
where'd you go there? Sorry.
What's up, man? Tim. Sorry?
Does it matter which one?
It's my second time there. What? Thank you so much for coming out and letting your voice. It's really
So I got just enough time to go home, change, and then come here. Go back
How's everything? Oh, you are? That's right. How are you? We're all here.
So, hey, Dr. Chris.
Lloyd? Or whenever you're ready.
Lisa, what are you doing?
Lisa,
come over here.
Lisa, please. Okay. Yes. Monet, you get in here.
want my banjo?
Did you put it next to your...
And then I'll you have me before. I was like, do you know where my banjo is? So it's right there, so we're good. Yeah, I appreciate it. I can leave it here for now.
Hi, Mom.
Do you yeah.
Double check. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Yes. Floyd, you can hear us okay? All right. Our next guest is Burdetta Hodge, a dedicated public servant, community advocate, and trailblazing leader. A lifelong Tempe resident, Burdetta made history as the first African-American woman elected to public office in Tempe, and after became the first African-American woman elected to the Tempe City Council. Throughout her career, she has championed education, community engagement, and opportunities for families while working to preserve the culture and history that makes communities strong. Please join me in welcoming Burdetta Hodge.
Thank you so much. Welcome everybody. I'm so happy to be here tonight.
Burdetta, thank you so much for being here. I love to start at the beginning. Did you always imagine yourself going into public service and leadership, or did life take you on a path you never expected?
No, actually, I wasn't. It wasn't one of my first pathways. I always know that I wanted to do something with my life and be there. I have a quick story, and you know my son is not even listening. He's turned around, and I'm going to call him out because he's not even paying attention. All right. So when I was 16 years old, I was the Black Student Union president for the state of Arizona. And I got a chance to go to a breakfast one time. And at that breakfast, it was some kind of famous people sitting at the breakfast. It was I'm going to say Rosa Parks. No, it was Coretta Scott King at the head of the table. Forefront her was Miss Rosa Parks. Two from Miss Rosa Parks was Maya Angelou. Two from Miss Maya Angelou was the 16-year-old Burdetta Hodge. And at that moment, I realized, that I was in the room with greatness. But it took Miss Maya Angelou to say something to me. She looked at me. She goes, "So what do you want to do with your life?" And if you're talking to Miss Maya Angelou, you would know that is an intimidating thing to do. So at that point, I started talking. I was like, I want to go to college. I want to do all these different things. And she looked at me. She grabbed my hand and she goes, "A sister will always know how to get a job. That's part of her nature. But the sister who knows why will end up being her boss. Never take a step in life without knowing the reason why." And as I was walking out that door, as they were walking out together, Miss Rosa Parks turned back around and she said, "Would you like to take a picture with me, young lady?" And I said, "Yes." And I stood there and I took this picture. And her last words to me were, "Ma'am, we're opening up this door for you. And you're going to walk through it. When you walk through it, who will you bring through the door with you?" And it took me a while to understand that, and some life tragedies and just getting where I'm at to understand that that's the path I was supposed to be on.
Wow, that's powerful. That was a powerful story right there. Thank you for sharing that. So was that the moment that you knew you would be in a leadership?
No, actually it wasn't. It wasn't the moment at all. It was the pathway to open up, but it wasn't It wasn't the moment. The moment never came until actually when I won school board. And it's funny until I actually got into office and I realized I lost my first run at elected office with school board. And I had one of my African American students walk up to me afterward and said, "Are you going to run again?" I said, "I don't think so. It was hard. I don't know if I can do it." Um, but she looked at me. She goes, "Well, I hope you do because you're our Michelle Obama. We don't have anybody we look up to like we can, and you're our person we look up to. So if you don't do it, then what is that telling us later?" And I think at that moment, it realized that it was what I do was bigger than me.
So much bigger.
So much.
So much bigger.
Yes.
Leadership comes with a lot of responsibility, especially when the decisions you make affect people's everyday lives. How have your own life experiences and connection to this community shaped the way you lead?
Well, one thing that I realize is that I'm not just an elected official. I'm a black woman, and there is not a lot of black women doing the things that we do in this world. And when I succeed, it feels like I'm bringing my community with me. But that also comes at the same burden when I lose. I feel like I've let my whole community down. And I just recently just lost my bid for re-election, and it took me a while. I was depressed. I just found out a month ago. I was very depressed. I was very hurt. But I realized it wasn't that I was hurt because I was hurt for me. I felt that I let all of the young black girls down that needed to be the next leader. Because I know how hard it is to get in that spot and for someone else to take my spot. And I just felt like I just let down my community.
That's a huge responsibility and burden to hold on. And how powerful is that you are? I don't know if everyone realized how powerful those words when I said you are the first black woman council member. Like, that is huge. That is huge. Let alone how hard it is for us women alone, because I say the world is run by men. But a black woman at that's huge. And you are such a role model for all the young girls watching you. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
But Tempe has grown and changed so much over the years. How do we continue to move forward and welcome growth while still honoring the history, culture, and people who helped build these communities?
As you said, Tempe, because to think about it, we were a sundown town. Just in the late 70s, we were a sundown town, meaning that if I was the color I am, I could not be out at this time of night. And when people talk about Tempe, they talk about, oh my God, Tempe's so progressive, but it hasn't hit minority progressive yet. That's a different story. So what we need to do is continue on. We got to make sure that diversity is something that we do look at. We got to make sure that we have not just in race, it has to be in religion, it has to be in sexuality, it has to be in every aspect of it, because we are so easy to get tied down to believing that we're doing so well that we've lost the faith that we have. So I'll say and I'll say again, Tempe is way above others, but we still have so much more to go. Because if you're in a city and you can still see that the mayor and myself have been attacked for being black on the dais, and that was just this in the last year, that we are not where we need to be at.
Thank you. Representation matters. When young black girls see someone like you serving in a leadership role, what do you hope they believe about themselves and what's possible for their future?
That the door has been opened by many women before you. It's time for me to lend my shoulder for you to stand on. And I want them to be taller and stronger and better than I was, because that's what every generation is. It's not about what we have done, it's what we are creating for the next generation. And I sure hope that my shoulders are strong enough to lift some of these black women up and make sure that they go into greatness.
Woo! You gave me goosebumps, girl. Thank you. Woo! I've got chills. I've got to. I think I have one more question here. What's one thing you wish more people understood about the work you do?
The biggest thing I want people to understand about the work I do is that I didn't do it for celebrity status. I didn't do it because I wanted to have my name out there. I did it because I believe in this community. I believe that this city has given me so much, and I wanted to give back to the city as much as they gave me. And that's what I want people to, if you remember anything about me, remember that the work I did, I cared about every single thing I did. It was never about a title. It was never about who was looking. It was about what was best for the city. It was best for my students. It was best for my community.
Thank you. And I'm looking in your eyes. You make really good eye contact. You keep looking in my eyes, and I can feel the genuinity looking at you. So it's like my heart is so touched, so open. Thank you for being such a role model for all the young black girls looking, thinking they can never do it. And here you are.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Give it up for Bernetta Hodge.
Thank you guys.
In addition to the PM situation, do we want to keep the rockers up there? Should we just grab some folding chairs? What do you think for vibe?
You're gonna have them all up there at the same time?
I think it's Corey and 2, and then Corey and 3. So we're gonna need
I would say
probably another chair. Okay, like different chairs or just 4 chairs with the rockers.
those are the only 2 rockers you want.
Okay.
I'm just moderating.
All right.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Mr. Mayor?
This panel, which chairs do you need? These people all, they get good. A very good day. The high ones. One more. Let's do it.
That looks right. Corey can be in the high one.
Okay.
And then the other 2 in the rocker.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, that was
I don't know where I want this. Yeah, right now.
So there's the camera. Right click. It's like doing a glare. There we go.
And the crowds.
Remind them of the beer. Yeah, I'll do that. Supposed to
So not everyone at the same time.
Right.
Okay. I was gonna say, how are you gonna fit all those chairs up there?
Just got her not too long ago. Stands right there.
You're not even drinking. I'm not want to be drinking.
Looks like I got their names here.
The only one that's not here is Ken. So that is Barbara and
It's hella smooth, man. It's hella smooth. You're like, yeah, it's smooth.
you got Larry and Barbara. Up there.
Only still only have these two. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to our Juneteenth event. Thank you so much. This is once again the Tempe City of Tempe Juneteenth Block Party event. For those that's been with us all night, thank you guys. Once again, this is an event been going on for a few years here, and this is a great event to be a part of. Great to learn about culture, history, things of that nature. I am Larvell. I'm one of the hosts with Shoes Off Talk. Once again, thank you for coming out. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have the code right here, scan right here for the code. Keep in tune with everything we got going on and who we're interviewing. But today, we have the Honorable Mayor Corey Woods with us. We'll be speaking with Larry Miller and Barbara Howard. We will be talking about the inside system. So, Mayor Corey Woods, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Everybody having a good time tonight at this Juneteenth celebration right here. Fantastic. I also want to say, too, as a man who stands at the very tall height of 5'6.5", sitting in this chair is the tallest I've ever been in my life. So I feel very, very happy right now. So I want to make sure to let our guests here this evening, our panelists, introduce themselves before I go ahead and launch at any questions. So it looks like the microphone is being handed to Barbara, who's going to do a quick introduction, and she'll turn it over to Larry, who'll introduce himself. So Barbara, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Barbara Noble Howard, born and raised in South Africa, and I work at ASU. I'm a community outreach leader, and I'm also involved with museums. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Larry Miller. I am currently the chairman of the Jordan brand at Nike. Wrote a book a few years ago with my daughter, and we started an organization about a year and a half ago that focuses on trying to help people who are coming out of the criminal justice system to get their lives together and get their lives on track.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Barbara and Larry, for joining us. And just a note, too, for all of our panels, we'll probably have to hold the microphones very close because we're competing with a lot of great music in the background, which I know is hard for us not to get up and dance, but we want to make sure we pay attention to our panelists this evening. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'll throw this question out to anyone who wants to answer. What's one barrier that you still see kind of holding Black people back to this day?
So this question is very close and dear to my heart. As someone who grew up in South Africa, I wasn't just the system itself created a big barrier for me to move forward. And when I look at where we are right now in South Africa, we've made a lot of progress. In the US, we've made a lot of progress, but I think the biggest barrier of what I see is if you are not sitting around the table, then someone else will create a menu and you will not be part of that menu. So I think it's important to be part of the discussion and to make sure you sit at the table.
For me, again, my focus in the last 5 years or so has really been about helping, like I said, helping people coming out of the criminal justice system. In this country, there are 80 million people that are impacted, have been involved in the criminal justice system. The majority of those, in terms of percentage of population, Black folks make a great percentage of those, and it affects not just the people who've been involved in the system, but it affects their families, their communities, and to me, that's one of the major issues that I think we should be looking at and addressing in this country.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how do you both make sure that you don't lose sight of the people that you're trying to serve in your daily lives?
So to me, the most important thing is to listen to them, to collaborate, to have conversations and ask people, how are you doing? What do you need? And not just be, we all had the question of being a mentor, of being, of supporting mentees. At this point in time, I think we need sponsors. And what I mean by sponsors is we need someone to put themselves out there and say, you know what, I believe in you, Barbara, so I'm going to bring you to the table and I'm going to help you. So to me, sponsorship is really important at this time.
Yeah, there's a person named Brian Stevenson who's kind of a leader in social justice work, and Brian talks about what he calls proximity, meaning if you want to really try to help people, you have to understand what their issues are, and the way to do that is by being close to people and getting proximate to people, and so you can understand. And you know, I think that's one of the keys to really addressing the issues we have.
So another question here is, what's the difference between talking about change and actually making change happen in the real world?
So for me, I think, you know, we all sit and we talk, lots of lip service, but to go out in the community, to be involved and support a cause, to lead by action, I feel that is important. And how I saw that, especially growing up in South Africa with my mother, I mean, the system prevented me from voting, but my mother always told us to serve. We knew education was key, and when I had the first opportunity to vote, I voted with my mother and my grandmother, and I knew that day would come, and we prepared ourselves. So to me, that was a lesson that I learned, that, you know what, you believe in the system, but you also have to educate. So I do think to make sure you are among the people, to help them, and to keep pushing.
Yeah, I feel like I've been so blessed in my life, and the things that I've been able to accomplish, the things that I've been able to overcome, that if I'm not giving back, then I'm not showing the gratitude that I have for what I've been able to accomplish and how blessed I've been. I was at a conference one time, and I heard a woman say something that her mother told her, that stuck with me. She said her mother told her when she was young she should learn more so she can earn more so she can return more. And to me, that's a great perspective and a great way to look at things.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, thinking about education as well. My mother, interestingly, my mother, whose 85th birthday would have been today, but my mother, one of the things, she was a 30-year high school teacher in New York City public schools. And so education for her was always the top thing that she wanted for me and my younger brother. And her whole thing for all of us was always, Corey, whatever you do, there's a lot of things in life that you can probably take on, but your education is something that no one can actually ever take away from you. So even when I first talked about wanting to run for public office, my mother was like, you need to make sure that you get your education before you do anything else. Because public office will be there at some point. You can serve the public, but make sure to get that degree first. So she told me that it's something that sticks with me each and every day. So let me ask you, talking about accountability, because accountability is a word that we use all the time in today's society. From your perspectives, what does accountability look like in real life?
That is a tough one because, Corey, accountability is seen differently by different people. For me personally, how I see accountability, do I practice what I preach? Do I hold myself accountable? Do I do what would I treat people the way I would like them to treat me? So to me, that is something that I really try to live by. Treat people by how you want to be treated and hold myself accountable. So it starts with myself, because if I don't hold myself accountable, how can I hold other people accountable?
I agree with that 100%. I think one of the other keys is that we have to hold each other accountable. We have to, make sure that if we're supposed to be doing something, if you have responsibility to do something, that you are being held accountable for doing whatever it is you're responsible for. And I think, like I said, we have to hold each other accountable. And in a lot of cases, we don't do that.
As folks always say out in the community, don't talk about it, be about it. So that is definitely the message that we all want to carry forward on this stage. So the last question I actually have for you both this evening is, so what makes you optimistic about where we're heading?
Corey, I survived apartheid. Nelson Mandela was in jail for 27 years. He came out, he forgave the people who oppressed him. We had free elections. Again, I was able to vote with my mother and my grandmother for the first time, and I just feel that, yes, we are running in a bad, difficult patch right now, but if we are just going to give up and say, oh my gosh, nothing better will happen, that means everything that Nelson Mandela, Dr. King sacrificed their time for was wasted. So I'm so positive. We have to keep on fighting. We have to keep on registering people to vote. We have to go out and vote. We have to complete census forms. I did the US Census the last time. I'm passionate about it. If we do not do those things, then we cannot just blah, 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 blah. It's all about action.
I was going to ask you, Papa, before you turn the mic over, just a quick follow-up question. So you mentioned something about the U.S. Census that's done every 10 years.
Yes.
Can you expand a little bit on that and talk about why participating in the U.S. Census is so critically important for Black Americans?
Okay. So to me, when I decided to do the census the last time, I chose to adopt America. I chose to give up my South African citizenship and take this beautiful country on. And I felt it was my civic duty to do the US Census during COVID. So why is the US Census important? Because if we do not complete those forms, we cannot get daycare centers, we cannot get more hospitals. Everyone just thinks it's about political representation. It's more than that. It's important that we make sure, again, we sit at the table, we are representative, and people see us for who we are, and educate people also. The census are done every 10 years. Some people think it's done every year. Well, it's not. So the census really help us with community development.
Absolutely. And It is really critically important, and Barbara, thank you for talking about that more, because I remember having a conversation with a young brother at one point, talking about doing the census, and they said, well, I don't want to do jury duty. And I'm like, come on, man, we can't talk like that. We have to make sure that we are taking part and we are being counted to ensure that people know that we're here, to make sure that we have representation, and to make sure that we frankly get the attention and the resources that we deserve as people. So, Barbara, thank you for actually talking about that a little bit more. Thank you for your work. Larry, I'll turn back to you just to read the question one more time. What makes you optimistic about where we're headed?
So one of the things that makes me optimistic is that we, as Black people, we've been resilient over the years. There have been so many things that we've had to overcome as people, and we continue to move forward. I've been fortunate to go to Africa a number of times, and the last time I went to Ghana, I visited slave castles there, and that was just an incredible experience for me. But what that told me, or what that made me understand, is that we're survivors. We're the descendants of the strongest of the strong. The people who survived the trip over here, who survived slavery. That's who we come from. That's who our DNA is. And I believe that because we have that in us, we're going to continue to move forward. And again, that's what makes me feel confident and positive about the future, is because we're an amazing people who've been able to continue to move forward over the years.
Excellent. Thank you. And I want to make sure to be respectful of both of your time, but Larry, Barbara, thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much, just not for being here just this evening, but obviously thank you for what you've done for this country, and thank you for what you've done to set an example for Black Americans, frankly, everywhere. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to share some of your insights and experience with us this evening. And obviously for all of you in the audience, thank you so much for coming out here and listening to our exceptional panelists. Can we please give them a big round of applause?
Thank you.
All right, so right now the time is around 9:23, 9:24. We're going to get our next session started in approximately 5 or 6 minutes, right at 9:30. So if you need to get up and stretch your legs or grab a quick drink, please make sure to be back here promptly at 9:30 for the next set of panelists. Thank you so much.
Come here. Messiah. Right here. Come over here.
Tim, is that better?
Yeah. And that's the point. You've done a good job. Nobody knows.
I don't know which water is mine.
How are you? I have coffee right beside you.
Butch? Hey, Butch? Butch!
Who's next?
I got you.
Who's next?
There's a panel 2. He's doing panel 2 now.
Damn, I want to be on that one.
Oh my gosh.
Larry! Are you finna get ready to sign? No, look, we have heroes among us.
right back, Larry.
I haven't told you, but my uncle is freaking sweet, so. Yeah, and Chris Ben is my, he's gonna. You guys were incredible. I saw you. I took over.
I mean, I would love to do it, but Tim is doing this amazing. No.
Great job. Great job. It's amazing. I didn't want to talk yesterday because I said, in this, anything with it, it's got to be your thing or it's got to be flawed. So I literally went yesterday and said, that's it, it's off. So, everything good? Doing well? So you were there for the McFever. Did you feel it everywhere? Our phone has not stopped ringing or texting for like days, almost weeks, and I'm like, God bless. You know, good for them. You know what? It's very rare. It's something that unifies that variety That's great. Are you back here?
All right, thank you guys. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. If you wanted an opportunity to get a signed copy of Larry Miller's book, then after this panel, come over to the Unknown Union booth and you have an opportunity to get a signed copy of Jump. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
This may be the only opportunity to get a one-of-one.
All right, so let's see. It is 9:29 p.m. Since I got about 30 seconds before I start, I'm going to make a very important announcement before I sit down here. And that important announcement is just simply Nixon 5. So anyway, okay. Perfect. Yeah, I said it. See, this is why mayors get in trouble, because you see, if we don't say something, you say we're straddling the fence. But if we take a position, we upset somebody. So I'm trying, but I'm trying to stay out of trouble up here because I'm not being successful. So, all right. Now back on track here. So we're gonna go ahead and get our next panel started. But I'm going to go ahead here and let the panelists, first of all, do a little bit of introduction of themselves before we start with questions. So let's see, how many microphones do we have? Just one this time around? We had two before, and now we're down to one. But, Dr. Howard, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. And if you want to pass it on down, Dr. Chris Howard, ASU.
Thank you very much, Mayor Corey. I appreciate it. I am the guy that's lucky enough to be the roommate of that bad sister that was up here a second ago, Barbara Howard. I'm Dr. Chris Howard. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Vice President at Arizona State University. And I don't know why we gave Coach the tallest seat. We're looking like munchkins compared to you, Coach.
Well, I'm Coach Butch Beard. I'm also a former New York Knick. See, I'm also a former Golden State Warrior. Got a championship at 75 with Rick Barry. And now I'm a broken athlete that's going to move this microphone on.
Thank you, Coach.
Hi, I'm Dr. Velma Traham. I serve as the president and CEO of the Black Chamber of Arizona. I am also a best-selling author. I just released my new book called Unfireable. You can be fired from your job, but you can never be fired from your purpose.
Love it. All right. So once again, I'm going to let these folks jump in here. There's an incredible amount of experience up here and a lot of insight that you're going to hear this evening. So I'm going to start off by saying, what's one barrier that you still see holding our people back even to this day? And that's whoever wants to jump in to start.
Yeah, I'll start. I think one barrier is really mindset. I think that, we used to hear this in school when they used to say that the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And when I think about where we are in terms of people, in terms of understanding the political climate that we're in and how entrepreneurship is the key to freedom right now, I believe that we must begin to think in terms of purpose. And our purpose is the thing that we were put on earth to do, the problem that we were put on earth to solve. So I think that if we begin to walk more in our purpose and destiny, that's to me is a barrier. Wow.
Yeah, I know we're having like an insightful conversation at a party at the same time up here. So,
well, I think you're totally right on everything you said, but the big thing that you have to understand, if you have a dream, and that dream is something that you really believe in, you don't let anybody tell you no. No is not in your vocabulary. And so you have to continue to go with the ups and downs of life until you complete that dream. And that's the hardest thing in life that we have to, overcome.
Thank you very much, Coach. I appreciate both those points. I'll go a little different angle. I'd say one of our barriers is access to capital. Access to reasonably priced capital to do the great business endeavors that you implied in your great leadership with your organization as well. But, and that's something that is partially mindset. We need to understand how the rules work. Sometimes I say that sometimes I feel like we're playing checkers while the rest of the world's playing chess. So we need to understand the rules of the game in terms of your credit score and, how you can access capital for your education, for a house, etc. But one of the key barriers is our ability to generate some wealth for ourselves and our communities and our families and posterity is access to capital. We can talk about later on what we can do about it, but I think that's a barrier, Mayor.
Sounds good. Absolutely. So, question for all three panelists here, too, is how do you try to make sure that you don't lose sight of the people that you're trying to serve?
Well, I think Larry said in the previous panel, kind of the paraphrase Paul Robeson, and the great actor, thinker, activist, intellectual, I have been given, therefore I must give. I'm a couple generations from my great-great-grandfather, Amos Howard, who was a slave, enslaved person. My father actually knew him. He was chattel. He was no different than this chair my butt was on right now. So for us to forget, from whence we come would be foolhardy. And so, you look at your family, you look out the window, you pay attention to the number of people that are around certain tables. I think my wife was alluding to the fact that being on the menu or being around the menu. So you're looking around the table and noticing there's only one of you like that, or two, call it holiness, Mayor Corey. That's the problem. That's how you stay grounded. You don't forget where you came from, and there's work to be done.
In my profession, not only as a basketball player, but also as a coach, I had an opportunity to work at two historical black institutions, Howard University and Morgan State. And I have a group of 15 kids at Howard that we came together, went to the NC2A tournament, and they believe in just about anything that I tell them. I also have a group of kids that was at Morgan State that were a little difficult to try to get them to understand a dream. And the only thing that I've tried to do in my life is to see if I could and I can influence one individual to be better than he was when I first met him. And that has been something that I've always tried to do from day one.
I think for me, so I was born and raised in poverty in Houston, Texas. And I am the first generation entrepreneur, first generation college degree, first generation millionaire in my family. And I believe that your end does not have to look like your beginning. I believe that poverty is a state of mind. So when I think about how do I keep the work at the forefront of what I'm doing, we got to think about our next generation, the next generation of innovators and trailblazers. A lot of the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, the millennials, they don't want to work for someone else. They want to be entrepreneurs. And if we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, we're going to talk about ownership. We're going to talk about that's what's going to create wealth. When we talk about generational wealth, it starts with creating a business that solves problems, because when you solve problems, money follows solutions to problems. And I think that's what we need to keep at the forefront of everything that we do.
Excellent. So my next question for all three panelists here is, what's the difference between simply talking about change and actually making change happen?
When I think about when I think about politics and when I think about policy, a lot of people, the first thing they say is, "Oh, I don't get into politics." Well, the reality of it is we all have to be in politics, whether we want to be in it or not, because that's where decisions are made, and that's how we actually are able to make change happen. So when I think about city council meetings in different cities, we ought to show up to lend our voice and to understand what's going on at the state and the federal level, because this is what is influencing policy. And people always complain about what's going on, but they're not actually at the table lending their voice. And I think more of us need to be bold. More of us need to understand that our voices are needed, and then show up authentic, very authentic.
I was going to what Dr. Tram talked about showing up to city council meetings. That's a very true statement, because many times we sort of see the same, let's say, 20 to 25 people at council meetings every other Thursday. But I will tell you, for those people who do show up, they have a tremendous amount of impact. The council knows who those people are. They know the reach that they have in different areas of the community. And many times city policy can be shaped by those people. Just a small group of people, though, who are organized, who get very knowledgeable about the issues, and they basically tell the council, we are going to hold you accountable if you do not do the things that we think will move the city in the right direction. So we absolutely need more of our people showing up to city council meetings, not just in Tempe or across Arizona, but frankly across the entire country, so we can influence policy and do things that will actually work for our people. So, Coach, I'll turn to you next.
Now, I want to ask you whether or not, Mayor, that 25 group that comes to the meetings, have you asked them to bring a friend or two so that we can really get into the system? Because we can't make a change until we get into the system and understand how the system works. And we're at that stage, people. You're going to have to vote. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to vote. You're going to have to register to vote, and you're going to have to go out and vote. And I don't want to hear, my vote doesn't mean anything. Your vote means a lot. So you have to make sure that you register and you go out and you vote.
Well, I appreciate those points. Coach is an old former basketball, not old.
Yeah, I'm old.
Well, he is old.
My grandmother used to say, don't nothing get old but gold.
That's right. He's like a fine wine, gets better every year. He's a former basketball player. I'm a former football player. And Mayor Corey, you say, how do you know the actions really happen? You got to keep score. You talking about the Knicks, man? You know they got it. Got it. What I guess in 5 or whatever number of games. You have to keep score, and it has to elevate. Is your game elevation? What I mean by that, when I say that, is hey, if you're in a job where you are contributing yourself, then there are certain things in that job that you can do. Younger person, there are certain things you can do in your community to ensure things are better. But you get to a more senior role, you need to look around and make sure if you look around and nobody looks like you fail. I don't care. That's nothing. That's just if you look around, nobody looks like you. That means that you have failed. If you're not counting to make sure that people are getting real opportunity across the board, doesn't mean just not just by color, whatever. But the key is to be output driven, outcomes driven. Are we moving the needle? You know, things like one of my stats they about all the time, Mayor Corey, is that you know that an African American family that has a head of family that graduated from high school, from college, makes less money or has lower net worth than another family, a majority family, that has a high school degree. So what's going on there? So if we're not doing things to move the needle, then we're not doing anything. That's the way I like to say it. Keep score.
Yes, please, Dr. Tran, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would like to add. So I want to just give a plug really quickly for the Black Chamber of Arizona. It's a 28-year advocacy organization that supports businesses across the state. We have helped businesses win $11 million in contracts. We've provided 15,000 hours in technical assistance, and we do have an advocacy arm. So we are probably one of the only chambers in the country with a dedicated focus on supporting youth entrepreneurship and leadership. So I would like to see, and when it comes to, when you just said how many people are, we asking to join the council meetings, the Black Chamber of Arizona, we're statewide. We would love to have you plugged into this ecosystem so that we can help you take your business or even your professional journey to the next level.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Quick thing, actually, for the next question, I want to see if Dr. Howard, we can start with you, because you began to kind of touch upon this in your last answer. And it was basically, what does accountability look like in real life? And you were talking about you got to keep score, but to you, what does accountability look like?
Well, I think that it actually there's a micro and there's a macro version of what accountability looks like. The first one, it kind of was what my wife alluded to, is what you see in the mirror, right? It is your ability to look in the mirror and say, did I give my all? Did I treat people fairly? Did I try to make the world a better place, as it were? So that is you and your soul and your creator. The macro level, I think it varies as you move through society. You were a council member before you were a mayor. There are things that you can be held accountable for as a mayor that were different as a council member. But the whole idea is, and again, it's not just about, a micro community of color or race or whatever. It's about making the world a better place, right? And recognizing the one to whom much is given, much is also expected. So I think it's a constant pulsing, a constant striving to make things better, holding yourself to account, and then looking out there and saying, hey, is this community better now, statistically speaking, than it was before? And if we've done that, we're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Thank you. To our other two panelists, too, from your perspective, Coach, what does accountability look like to you? As someone who's been a coach, an NBA player, but obviously just a very accomplished person, what does it look like in your world?
In my line of business, especially when I was a college coach, the most important thing that I had to do was make sure that I got the young men to act like men, okay? And that was a very hard thing to do, to get them to act like men, treat people right, treat them the way that they wanted to be treated. And so sometimes, of course, you don't get to everybody. If you get to one or two, you're okay, because you're not going to get to everybody. But the important thing after that is to go out and see if you can make a difference in your community each and every day. And my wife and I just moved to Arizona. We've been here almost a year, almost. And here I am at this forum. And we have already started the voting process, talking to people about voting. Because you don't make a difference until you do it locally, then state, then nationally. And that's what we're trying to do.
Coach, I was going to say, I really appreciate the emphasis and the focus on voting. One of the things that I would regularly hear sometimes, working with younger people who are frankly just sort of getting to be of adult age, and they would approach me as a city council member and as mayor and say, we don't think you listen to and it wasn't about me personally, because we don't think the council all the time listens to the voices of the young voters. It seems like you spend a lot of time listening to what senior citizens actually want. Now, first of all, I would dispute that. I think we do listen to the voices of young voters. Arizona State University is right here in our backyard. Go Devils. Largest public university in the country, 60,000 students right here in Tempe's backyard. But I would say one of the things too about a lot of seniors vote in big numbers. I'm on the board of Friendship Village Tempe, which is a senior retirement facility here. I'm telling you right now, if they mail ballots on Thursday and they get to their homes on Friday, if you are not there by Saturday, that ballot, like Stevie Wonder said, is signed, sealed, and delivered back. And so the fact of the matter is, elected officials and aspiring politicians know that demographic votes in big numbers, so they do spend a lot of time actively courting them. So I always try to make that point to younger people, and obviously I know coaches also try to make that point to young African American men and women, that we have to take part in the process, and we have to, even at a minimum, make sure that we vote in all of our elections, not just elections in November for the midterms, or not just in presidential years, but city council elections in Tempe are in March and May. We have to vote in those off-cycle elections too, and make sure that we're educated about the process. So, Coach, I appreciate you pointing that out.
Yes, because all the work is done locally first. And if you get it done locally, you will see things that will happen nationally. And you just have to get in. You're not going to win everything. Understand you're not going to get what you want all the time. But you will see improvement each and every time you vote. You really will. I'm old enough to tell you, you really will. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Dr. Trey, what does accountability mean to you in your world?
Well, I think accountability, what it means to me is just showing up every day 100%. I believe that success is 80% showing up. I also think that leadership is all about not only giving directions, but you have to become the change that you want to see. And I think that's important. I think a lot of people do a lot of talking, but they're not leading properly. When people actually see what you do, they do what they see, not what you say. So I think accountability is showing up, treating people the way you want to be treated, and understanding that leadership is about serving and not being served.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, for my final question for our esteemed panelists this evening, what makes you optimistic about where we're headed? And I'll open that up to anyone who wants to take that question first.
Well, I'm optimistic because out of one of my favorite books in the world, the Bible, Jeremiah 29:11 tells us that, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future." And I believe that when we stand on those declarations and when we stand on those promises, that helps us to get through the process. Many of us never make it to the promise because we stop in the middle of the process. So I believe that if we stand on the promises, we'll get to the process and the promises.
This is a big weekend. This is a big day in a lot of ways. So I'm watching television and I'm seeing President Obama's opening up his center. I got something to tell you. When he became president his first term, I'm a grown man. I cried like a baby because I never thought I'd see a black man as president of the United States of America. That brother has more hope than anybody that I can even think of about where this country is going. And if he has that kind of hope, we all should jump on that wagon. Look, I'm from the state of Kentucky, in the Kentucky Derby. You know, you talk about a horse making a turn going down the home stretch. Well, you know, I'm whipping that horse to the finish line if I can. So here's what I'm saying. We all have to have hope that the country, that we as a people can live together and prosper. And we have to make sure that the younger generation understands that. Us old people, we've done all we can do. It's the younger people that we have to convince to stay on this fight forever. Okay?
Well, I'll try to bring it home. Battle a little cleanup here, a little baseball analogy. So I'd say this: Juneteenth. Who knew? Dr. King's holiday. Who knew? There's some young people out there. Y'all take it for granted. Happy birthday to you. We were singing that before it was a birthday. And Arizona was a little slow, right? A little slow on the uptake. I'm from Texas originally. Not trying to hate on anything. But the thing that keeps me hopeful is that the Juneteenth celebration, not the King Holiday celebration. I appreciate the applause on that. So that part keeps me hopeful. I was at the Black Men's Country Club a couple years ago, barbershop, Black Men's Country Club. And my barber and I were talking. And what had happened was my barber and I were talking, and he was like, we were talking about the things that were going wrong and going down. And he said, you know, Doc, we're built for this. People call that bad stuff. We call that Tuesday. You know, we are a resilient, strong people. We were in the last thing. I think my man Larry was talking about the Middle Passage and what we've endured and what we overcome. Go back and read about Reconstruction. Go back and read about slavery. Go back and read about the Civil Rights Movement. Go back and read about what my wife talking about apartheid. Go back and read about Nelson Mandela, Dr. King, Malcolm X, W.B. Du Bois. You know, this is what we do and this is how we do it. Last piece, shameless plug for Arizona State University, which is a very, very powerful, important place. Imperfect, but trying to do the best we can, a great place. And what keeps me hopeful is those young people from all backgrounds in this place. Black, white, straight, Islam, Jewish, Christian, everything. Even the U of A people, they're okay too. All of them are okay. All of them, they all give me hope. So thank you very much for letting us be a part of this panel. And give the mayor a round of applause because he's good people.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Greatly appreciate that. And I'm going to return that favor. Can we please give our esteemed panelists a big round of applause this evening? I just want to say, once again, thank you to all three of you for being up here and sharing your perspectives. And, of course, thank you again to the Downtown Tempe Authority for putting together this exceptional Juneteenth celebration several years running. You can only do this in downtown Tempe. So that's my shameless plug of the evening as well. So once again, thank you so much, each and every one of you. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. If you haven't had a chance to go grab some peach cobbler, some banana pudding, that's where you can find me next. So thank you so much. Have a good evening. Thank you.
First thing. Let's go, Tim.